You ready?
Spider-Man Brand New Day plays like someone accidentally paid for DLC and it got to the final cut. The glazing begins with yet another Spider-Man movie, and it had a decently great start, and when it got to the second half, it was so bad that you realize, did I just pay for some DLC to this film without knowing? Cause Spider-Man really took a backseat to focus on the redhead from Stranger Things.
I don't like girls.
He's gay.
Continuing off from No Way Home, which has the dumbest plot ever, with Doctor Strange helping people forget who Peter Cucked Parker is, and that goes to crap.
And with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
Why don't you exercise your right to shut the f*** up?
It's crazy.
Peter is now not remembered by anyone, and he's living alone and beating his meat. Instead of
pining for a daddy he didn't even know.
He's pining for MJ, the mocha queen he desires. He had a taste of the taco and he's got the one-itis. Must have been some great taco, I would say. Peter is now working on being the best Spider-Man he can possibly be, with the help of the chocolate cake DEI female detective who doesn't help worth shit. When Spider Cuckboy tries to stop this tank with Gruntman Angry Dude,
Tank dumb dumb.
No. Wait.
somebody is using people and transferring through bodies and manipulating folks to their own will. All while Peter is trying to make his way to that old taco and Ned that chopsticks boy. And now he sees MJ, his mocha queen, has a boyfriend, and he goes home swinging with some trauma. And that trauma forces him to become a real spider boy in his little cocoon. He tries to get the help of Bruce Woke Banner for an inhibitor to suppress his true organic web swinging sauce, like the OG Tobey Peter Parker. He be splooging his webs all over New York City. He must then find a way to suppress who he truly is while having one-itis, and while this mystery player who's the form of DLC makes it into the way of this film. Because interjecting that storyline into this film made so much sense, didn't it? Directed by the director of Shang-Chi and the 10 Chopsticks! He was chopsticking the out of this movie with his ass writers Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. Might as well just be called Eric Cummers, who I personally think can write a script, but the stories are just poorly told.
Yeah! Where's me?
These people have forgotten why people can go back to the Tobey era and be immersed in those films. Cause it was Peter's natural progression until the third one, and that's related to this film.
Now I'm gonna kick your little ass.
As when you start interjecting storylines, it loses the natural character arcs. And this is exactly what this film did, and it's probably due to some writing committee for DEI or Kevin Boy.
We're about slowing it down and following year by year through.
Shut up, bitch!
The negatives, the music seemed to be a bit of a downgrade from the previous films. Michael Giacchino, Cracker Boy, has really lost his touch here, cause this ain't nearly as good as his previous scores. Letting that score settle behind the film instead of being in front of it, unlike the other three previous films. The part when Tom Holland becomes truly cocked, allowing his queen to kiss another dude in front of him, and he loses it to become organic spider one-itis simp boy. And he had a perfect opportunity to truly wipe the last three movies out of existence, and now we're retreading the same steps yet again. And I'm not even remotely interested in this group anymore. These are just fake players in the whole Spider-Man story. Zendaya and Chopsticks can get the out of this franchise. Yelena showing up and helping Peter figure out what's going on was a bit silly, and it really slowed the pacing of the film. Not really needed at all, and when Spider Simp needed help, she never showed up. The new woke Avengers didn't want to help Spidey Boy out with the Hulk because they said, "Fuck that shit. It's not big enough potato. It's not big enough potato.
I don't have anything anymore.
Shut up, bitch!
And the way the Hulk just comes down and falls down from the side of the damage control building was a bit stupid. The writers need to do something so Hulk Boy wouldn't be the star of this shit. He was just sliding there. He's like, oh, I realized I'm the Hulk. I'm doing bad shit. And he just falls there. He's like, f it. And then he becomes Bruce Woke Banner yet again. The amount of DEI in this film was off the charts. It's incredibly noticeable with this film. We got a black female detective.
Oh, damn. It's the Negroes.
Who doesn't serve any purpose besides nagging Peter Boy about stuff he already knows and not sure why he even calls her when he has all the crime alerts on his phone. Let's check that shit off the list. We got her kids with afros who look like every animation film kid. Let's check that off the list. We got the head dude of damage control who's a bad dude testing on these folks and he's up to no good. And he's also a chocolate cake. We gotta check that shit off the list as well. And at least that guy's casting makes a lot of sense because if you've seen Severance, you know he basically plays the same role in this film. The damage control guards, mostly chocolate cakes, check that off the list as well. The hand group that's in here briefly for the DLC montage, led by an Asian chopstick, check that off the list as well. And there was just a lot of side characters that don't do a whole lot in this film, and rather than putting them in there, it could have just been more focused on Spider-Boy splooging his webs all over the damn place! MJ's boyfriend, Indian dude, check that shit off the list as well.
This is bullshit.
Shit, she was into the white meat, now she's into the dark meat. Gotta try it all out, right? The fact that Peter simps for her the entire film, even though she doesn't have much screen time, is absolutely astounding. This one cute girl says hi and he dismisses it. What a goddamn idiot! And this is a lesson in one-itis. There's no need to clinch to one bitch forever. You can always go find another. The part where he takes MJ Mocha Queen for a swing, thinking she's in trouble, is actually just dumbass Jean Gay from Stranger Things! And she's probably mad that Fruitcake Boy Will took the spotlight in that show.
I don't like girls.
He's gay.
MJ remembers, oh, it's Peter Boy. Nah, it turns out it's Jean, that bitch who took over her body manipulating Spider-Boy. And it was just lame, as if she would remember him? Get the fuck out of here. Peter Parker has got to be the dumbest fucking idiot known to ever exist. This guy is stupid!
Dumbass.
Mocha Queen MJ figures the problem out with Spider-Cuck Boy's inhibitor and says, oh, it's your glasses interfering. What a load of crap that shit was. She's all of a sudden a smarter cookie than Peter Boy here. Dude needs help with everything and always needs his long-lost taco to help his little bitch ass out. Even later, fighting Jean Gay and the Hulk with Punisher Boy, and MJ finds the letter and says, I don't love you after. Well, no shit. She wants to just ride some other goddamn meats! Then she tries to reintegrate him back with Ned, and that was just lame. There's no need to retread the same thing, as if we're getting nostalgic or something. Who gives a shit? And I think people would have liked to see a new plotline carried out, but these f***ers could not commit to that shit. The fact that the story doesn't even revolve around a true villain of Spider-Man's is honestly the most disappointing aspect about this film. The Jean Gay DLC to this movie was so bad, it made me actually want to leave the theater. That's how terrible it was.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
They tried so hard for you to care about her, but you honestly can't after she manipulated all these people to get what she wants, to find her dead ass sister. Then she goes on and on about, I can't, and then she's all mad and shit, and you're like,
shut up, bitch!
I didn't know this movie was becoming the Jean Gay movie. I thought this shit was about Spider-Man and his brand new simp ass day, but nope. It's about Jean Gay for like 45 minutes. What a load of shit! And it tries to tie Peter Boy into all this. And you're thinking, damn, he seems like a side character at this point after Jean Gay goes full loony bin after making her sister get the bye-bye, turn it off. Thank God, at least we don't have to see her sister once again. And Peter Boy has to fight the hand, which is controlled by her. Then Jean Gay here gets inside Peter Cuck's memory to see that Aunt May went bye-bye, turn it off.
Gonna cry?
And it tries to be all emotional, and it just sucked. Nobody cares about Jean Gay and her sister and all her bullshit. You can't just interject that fucking story into this Spider-Man movie, or is it the Jean Gay movie? The pacing is so bad after the first part of the movie that my 160-minute indie epic Bagman Rising seems faster than what feels like a 3-hour slog of a film that this trash shit was! It's also too bad Cuck Parker decided to save Jean and get shot by the Punisher boy, when in fact he should have just allowed Jean Gay to get shot so the crappy DLC could finally end. And that was another missed opportunity. Then you realize this is the story they wrote for this film, when they could have just focused on Spider-Man maybe? It made you go,
Hey yo, what the fuck?
This could have been a great film, honestly, and it was poorly executed by a Jean Grey plot point that did absolutely nothing for the story at all. And it's really crazy to say that because that's where it really falls apart. It's more so in the writing than anything else. I don't know what the hell they were smoking. Why would you ever want to inject a Jean Grey storyline into a Spider-Man movie? That doesn't even make any sense. And if this is the way they're gonna go with the X-Men films, goddamn, the MCU is cooked! The positives, the cinematography seems to have taken a step up from previous films. It looks good actually. CGI is a hit and miss for sure though. I don't think these films will get as good with the swinging scenes as the Amazing Spider-Man movies. That shit was top notch, so. And I don't think they'll ever get as good as the opening to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, so. They're cooked for sure. The fight scenes were great and very video game-like, comparable to the new modern Spider-Man games, I would say, which is unique and cool. And it basically became one long ass cutscene. And I did like the aspect of Peter Boy getting more spider-like powers to really release the beast and not all over the place. The way he got it was just, you know, a bit silly, because that boy has been through a lot of trauma already. So seeing him get this arachnid power all of a sudden seems somewhat out of place. Should have been a little bit of a more natural progression through the film, but, or, you know, at least leave it questioning for the next film as what will happen, you know, something to that effect. The Punisher and Spider-Man scenes I thought was actually well done. And honestly, if the film was about these two and them going up against somebody other than the Hulk, I think it would have been really great, honestly. And it's definitely another missed opportunity. John Bernthal grunting in the back yet again is great. And it's funny here and there, honestly. And obviously the Punisher could have been way harsher as well, but I get it. This film is mostly for kids in a lot of ways. But damn, those Tobey ones were off the charts mature. And seeing the Hulk again was good, smashing shit up instead of seeing the soft Hulk we've been getting for years lately. And it's gotten tiring seeing how much he's been cocked.
I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
Shut up, bitch!
And seeing some of the villains was great in here, and it's good to see like the whole montage and such. I think the first part of the movie was really good. It really just settled you into the film, and you're like, damn, okay. And then it just got to that chocolate female detective, and you're like, God damn!
Oh, damn. It's the Negress.
And it just lose immersion from there, but you know what it is. And it was good to see Scorpion in action, even though his bigger scene was controlled by that goddamn pinch. And I truly wish they focus on the natural progression of Spider-Man and where he was going, instead of interjecting the whole Jean Gay storyline DLC that made you want to edit the whole section of the movie out. And it could have just ended with the Hulk, and it would have been good to go, keeping it ambiguous. Nobody gave a about Jean's stupid gray and whatever bullshit. Whoever implemented that bullshit needs a smack! The ending to this film wraps up with Peter Boy embracing his organic spider nutting webs and him getting along with the Punisher a lot more by the end. I did like the scene where he's in the hospital and Frank Boy is, he feels sorry for Spider-Man, and you got kind of emotional. You're like, damn, that's kind of sad and shit. And then you realize, damn, this movie is ass! And I really wish the Punisher shot that bitch and taken this whole DLC section out. Maybe even before the DLC started. He could have just taken her out, and that would have made this film so much better. Then he meets up Ned the Chopsticks and does a handshake, and he mentions that he's Peter, because early in the film, Mocha MJ says Peter in front of Ned. Then it ends with a post-credit scene of a spider tracker leading to damn space, and you're thinking, amazing, throw this shit in the trash bin! Zendaya the fake MJ is really pining for Peter Boy now, and you can just tell, cause she knows he's Spider-Man. Now he's got status, and I wouldn't be surprised if she gives him a rim job in the next film, while Indian Boy cradles his balls. Or Tom Holland sitting in his cock chair watching his girl get plowed so he can get his Spidey tingles on and get more of his organic web sauce all over the place! Overall, this movie gets a 5 out of 10.
This is bullshit.
If it wasn't for the amount of DEI bullshit, the stupid ass Jean Grey storyline DLC, and a focus on Spider-Man throughout the entire film instead of some nobody side characters that don't serve any purpose, I think this film could have been a 7+. But it doesn't even compare to the OG Tobeys.
I'm gonna cry. My back.
And this is just a wannabe Tobey in this storyline. So this shit gets the bye-bye, turn it off, Spider-Man!
You ready?
If you will, look right here.